Yo, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Just want to jump into a quick lesson this morning. We do pretty much every morning. Give y'all some updates, and we'll go from there. I'm going to let everybody start getting ready to come in, tune in. I want to deal with some subjects this morning. Deal with the Illuminati. Deal with Christianity. Also, just deal with New World Order, all that stuff. All right, this morning. And I'm not going to deal with every individual one, but I'm going to kind of compartmentalize them all because they all do play a role within this system, within this structure, this lawless generation and this lawless nation. And we're going to go from there. So I'll give everybody a minute to join in. I know Facebook is sending out the invitation, so I'm going to give it a minute for it to reach everybody. All right. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Just getting everybody a minute to join in here before we get into this conversation this morning. And some things that I definitely want to say this morning that I know that is going to more than likely, as always, challenge some of your thinking, challenge some of your traditions, challenge some of the things that you've heard. But it's all for the good. It's always good to have these things challenged. So because there's so much wool that's pulled over the eyes of brothers and sisters out here into thinking, and you may have heard some things through certain people or certain individuals that may have had some form of credibility. And that's fine. Even people with the greatest credibility can be wrong. A lot of times they have learned through their traditions, and a lot of things of being things of perception of what they perceive. So this morning, we're definitely going to get into this. I'm going to compartmentalize all of these different topics because they all kind of relate and tie in together. I'm not going to focus on doing it just breaking down them individually because it can take 2 hours just to do one of them, and I'm trying to compartmentalize all of them for you and to get an understanding here of what's going on. Okay. We had an awesome time this past weekend, this past Saturday, with the Choose Ye lecture. It was dope, man. I really enjoyed myself. I'm talking about the Choose Ye in Israel. It was definitely awesome. It was awesome. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank everybody for coming out. We definitely planning some more. I'll be in Virginia this coming Saturday doing a lecture as well. Again, on evangelism. And that's going to be dope with Pastor Kelly Richardson in Virginia and Richmond. I'll be there. So if you're in the area, Richmond, Virginia. The flyer is on my page. I'll be there Saturday as well as Sunday teaching. Radio popping off. Everything is definitely going, definitely awesome. I'll be in Jacksonville, Florida on 24th at the end of the month. We'll be doing another teaching down there on spiritual Egypt. I'll be breaking that down. That's going to be dope. So we got a lot of things going on, a lot of things coming. Hopefully I'll be in you guys' area so that I can definitely meet you guys personally. But we're going to just jump into this right now. There's been a conversation of over the last couple of years about, and I spoke briefly on this a little bit at Chuji this past Saturday during that lecture. There's been a lot of conversation that's going on about black people such as Jay-Z and Beyonce and all these different black people or entertainers. They're in the Illuminati. Okay, let's get something straight here, man. Okay, we're going to dive right into this. Stop saying it's ignorant. Okay, that's not true. Okay, let's get that understood. Do you know who the Illuminati is? One, you don't, because you can't see them. They don't wear name tags on saying that they're Illuminati. Okay, you're gonna see them. That's foolish. Okay, what's going on in the entertainment business is we're in the time of spiritual Egypt. Okay, that's what's going on. You see a lot of Egyptian symbols from the BET Awards to even multiple Fortune 500 companies all use the signal or diamond or pyramid shape. That is not the Illuminati, okay? The pyramid, diamond shape, that's not the Illuminati. Stop that. That you're playing right into the hands of the devil. That is deception. No, that is not Illuminati. That is the spiritual Egypt that we're in, okay? There's a mixture of several different kingdoms, all right? Spiritually, there are Babylon the Great, all of these different gods and all this stuff going on that Babylon had. You had the spiritual Egypt of the pyramids, symbolisms everywhere, dealing with on the back of the money, all the companies, all this different stuff. Okay, you're dealing with all these different the Greeks as well as Rome, pagan Rome, all of these different nationalities of people flooding into Rome as America. America's the granddaughter to Rome, so she's going to do exactly what her grandmother does. All right. All these different nationalities flooding into America, all these different religions flooding into America as it did Rome, is that you can have whatever religion you want as long as you don't put them over Caesar. All right. Caesar in America is money. All right. That's what it is. Caesar is the spiritual aspect of the money. That's Caesar in America. All right. Don't put nothing over the money. You can have whatever religion you want. You can create whatever doctrines you want. It does not matter. We don't care. All right. Rome, full of homosexuality. All right. Full of it. Same thing you have in America. All right. This stuff, you have to do your research and your history to know what's going on. All right. It's a spiritual concept of all of these different things that is in America. All right. It's been here from the beginning. Now, let me go back to this Illuminati stuff. Okay. The Illuminati. First of all, the Illuminati structured and organized this country. The Illuminati, they don't have time for entertainment. All right. Let's get that understood. Yes, they do sponsor and they fund spiritual Egypt because it's a part of the system. But the Illuminati is not concerned about who Jay-Z is. The Illuminati isn't concerned about who Beyonce or Rihanna is. They could care. First of all, they don't even think they're even human. They consider them less than human. All black people to the Illuminati is considered less than human. Okay, that's why the country was found the way it was. They don't have time for no Rick Ross and who creating who as the next rapper and they don't care. The Illuminati is worried about money. They're worried about power. They're worried about keeping wars going on. They're worried about all these forms of transactions of banking, depopulating the world. They don't care nothing about no who on the top of the charts and who they can use to deceive. You already deceived. Why are they spending resources and funding on deceiving you when you already deceived? They already deceived you through the religion. They don't need to deceive you through the music. You already deceived through the religion. They don't have time for that. Okay? Yes, they do sponsor it. Yes, they do support it as far as that aspect of it. But you start talking about these Illuminati hand signs. He's on the hand signs, the 3666 hand. Man, come on, get out of here. Illuminati hand signs are not no 36s. It's the Baphomet hand sign of the peace, the two fingers of peace. That is the Illuminati hand sign, right? All this other foolishness about some 36s, eye in the pyramid and all that, and that is spiritual Egypt. All right, that's why you don't know what's going on, because you so caught up in following what somebody else. Soon as somebody put out there, if you start even getting on the tracks of the Illuminati, which you're not, all they gotta do is throw a bug out there. Just throw some little dirt out there. So the new Illuminati hand sign is how you put the straw on the right side of your jaw. As soon as they put that foolishness out there, all y'all gonna do is take it and run with it. Oh man, such and such, he got all these followers. He got to be telling the truth. He said that if you put a straw, see that? Look at Jay-Z. Look at this person. Look at Colin Kaepernick. Look at Russell Wilson. He got the straw on the right side of his mouth. He a part of the Illuminati. Are you kidding me, man? When are we gonna wake up from this foolishness? Okay. Stop listening to what people tell you and get in your Bible and pray and let the Lord deal with you. All you want to do is follow what somebody's saying. Then you have somebody, you'll take these people and turn around and invite them into your church to come teach you about some foolishness by some Illuminati. And all he doing is showing a bunch of videos. Talking about, you hear what they saying in the songs? You see all the Illuminati. Man, listen, man, stop that foolishness. Okay, if you don't like rap music, cool, just you don't like it. That's no problem. But stop equating this thing with the Illuminati. The Illuminati structured, they stole from the Indians, they conquered the world. Okay? Now, if you want to you're trying to relate the Illuminati to everybody but Rome. You want to know who the Illuminati is? They're the folks sitting right over there in Vatican City that ain't nobody talking about. That everybody love. Okay? As a matter of fact, those who supposed to be kings and queens in Britain, them folks over there, they going over and they kissing the finger of the Pope. Now ask yourself this question. Why is the Queen of England and everybody else that's supposed to be top dogs in the world going over the doggone Vatican City, getting on one knee and kissing the ring of the Pope? But y'all talking about, oh, the Illuminati is Jay-Z. Man, get out of here. Jay-Z can't even go over there, man. When the last time you seen Jay-Z in the Pope office? Every president, no matter what Republican or Democrat, does two things. They are mandated to pay homage to the Queen of England. Why? Because that's their mother. America's mother is the Queen of England. Is England. And they have to go and kiss the ring of the Pope. Their grandmother, Rome. Every president, no matter who it is, they have to make that trip. To go kneel before both of them. But y'all so caught up in what somebody doing in football and all this. Listen, man, the laws are not going to change. You're asking for help from a system that was never designed to help you. The Illuminati, the people who structured this country with this corporation, let me rephrase that. The people who structured this corporation in America are the very people who stand and supposed to be your mouth, your legislative branches. Those who supposed to doggone talk talk for you. The people who's supposed to talk on your behalf, they're not talking on your behalf. You know what they're doing? They are talking for the people. They talking for Caesar. That's who they talking for. That's why you got lobbyists who make deals with congressmen. They're not talking for you. You know why? They don't care about you. You are part of the system. You are sheep in their system. You are cattle in their system. You are cattle in their system. The people who control this world, the people who created this system, this is the very reason why it's going to take Christ to come and destroy this system. Because you can't do it. And you sit every 4 years, you going to the polls, you begging, we got to put this guy in office. We got to put that guy in office. They going to help us. The same doggone people called the same group going by two different names, deceiving the people. The Republicans and the Democrats. And all y'all choosing sides, arguing and fighting. If I tell you I vote, oh man, how you not gonna vote? Why should I vote? What? Why should I vote? Why should I vote for a bunch of tax collectors? What? Why should I care about a bunch of tax collectors? Do you know that the tax collectors were considered the scum in Israel? Scum. They didn't have the interest for the people at heart. They were doing the business of Rome. And that's the same thing that's going on in this country. They are doing the business of Rome. That's why when the Pope came over here, everybody fell to their feet, crying, hooping and hollering, just like they was at a Michael Jackson concert. Falling all that, John Boehner crying, losing his mind. What we seeing is a very example. Y'all not paying attention to what's going on here, man. The Lord is allowing these people to have such charisma to deceive the people. And the Lord is saying, I'm going to give you a glimpse and a view of what it's going to be like. 10 times more though. When the celebration come on. You want to know how he going to deceive many? Look exactly how Pope and President Barack Obama, with all their charisma and character, have deceived the president, have deceived the preachers, done deceived the people, everybody deceived. Nobody paying attention to that. Everybody caught up in how good they speak, how well they talk, how they act. Everybody caught up in it. And the Lord is saying, I'm trying to give y'all an example to see what it's going to be like. And how it could be possible for the elect to be deceived. But yet, guess what y'all doing? Y'all caught up in all this foolishness. You're caught up in foolishness. You're caught up in concerts. You're caught up in all this stuff going on. You're caught up in all this stuff going, concerts and all this stuff. Football games and who going to the Super Bowl, basketball. And listen, man, we got to get to a point to where, see, this is all a part of it. Do you know Live Nation? Live Nation is a part of the whole system of entertainment. They've injected, you can't even, you used to have all different forms of different ticket places you could buy tickets from. Now you can't go, you can go through Live Nation. They own everything now. But y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all don't want to hear it. All you want to know is hear about how can I get my next blessing. And the Lord is trying to show you, I'm trying to get something to you, and you still not paying no attention. The more and more as time passed, and the more I watch, and the Lord show me how people are acting. The believers are in trouble, man. Y'all, listen, man, they're in trouble because they don't know what's going on. And the gates are language. Leaders are supposed to be the gates protecting the city. And they are language. They are bent over. They have fallen down. There's no gates around the city. All the gates have fallen. The only people that's helping keeping the people, protecting the people, are the watchmen on the towers. And you know what? With the watchmen on the towers, the people have put plugs in their ears and refuse to listen to the watchmen on the towers because they steady trying to get answers from the gates that have fallen on the ground. And the watchmen are screaming that they're coming. And the people have put plugs in their ears because they concerned that the king or the leaders ain't saying they coming. You are caught up in personality cults. And the watchmen can see them coming. The leaderships are in the doggone palace with no windows. Like a Jehovah's Witness church. Can't see what's coming. And they scream, wait, they coming. And yet the people are not listening. This country was never founded on no values of the Bible. I don't know where y'all got this foolishness from. Y'all will follow and listen to any and everything. This country was never. The very people who created the laws owned slaves and used the Bible to deceive. The very people in this country who structured this country created laws against you. You are asleep. And you wondering why you're getting gunned down. But you begging for the system to change. The system is not going to change. The system is in place for the lawless one. And I'm going to show you a video. And you wonder the reason why every single president that has come on the scene since the 80s have been talking about a new world order. That's not a new concept. There is nothing new under the sun. And we're going to show that. Let's watch this video.
For us, the opportunity to forge and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be.
Now I'm going to stop right there. Now this is Bush Sr. Bush Sr. is related to some of the most powerfulest people in the world. Some of them are probably a part of the three bankers, the Illuminatis. Now he simply said, we will be successful. And you can see it in his eyes that he is telling you the truth. Straight up. We will be successful. But y'all ain't listening. Y'all not hearing or listening. All you concerned about is foolishness. This is why it's sad that we have to talk with this level of aggression and this level of urgency. This is why the Lord said through the prophet, cry loud and spare not. Don't spare their feelings. You have to cry loud. Why? Because they ain't hearing you when you're talking normal. And they still not hearing you when you're screaming. Cry loud and spare not. Y'all not ready for what's about to hit this country, man. About to hit this world. This is it after this. It ain't gonna be no more captivity after this. It's hellfire after this. Let's continue.
At this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
There's a need for a new world order, but it has different characteristics in different parts of the world.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
It's about the future of Europe and a new world order.
After 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
Now, brothers and sisters, is it by coincidence that they keep hollering this new world order? Talking about peace. They will say peace, peace, when it is no peace. There's no peace coming to this world until Christ comes. It's all a part of the deception. There is no peace in this earth until Christ comes. This is all a part of it. They're going to use this system for the purpose of saying peace. It's all laying the foundation for the lawless one. It's all about laying foundation for the lawless one, who is going to come in the name of peace. It's out there, brothers and sisters. The word is out there. Now, these people who are involved in the whole laying the path for the lawless one, they are a part of the spiritual Antichrist system. They have been possessed of the spirit of Antichrist, preparing the way for the son of perdition or the Antichrist. They obtain the spirit of it. So they have to lay the foundation for him to come. But we ain't listening. We're not listening.
And the hope that each of us has that the new world order.
The pieces are in flux. Soon they will settle again. Let us reorder this world around us.
So that the problem of the Bush presidency will be the emergence of a new international order.
Within the next 4 years, we will see the emergence of a new international order.
The beginning of a new international order.
But today, with Asia outreducing Europe, India and China are clearly becoming part of our new order.
So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, a new world is emerging. It is a new world order with significantly different and radically new challenges.
And its task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity. It isn't just a crisis.
But this crisis, in the way that has developed, will require some kind of world government.
Good evening, everybody. President Obama and British Prime Minister Gordon today calling for a new world order to tackle our global economic crisis.
And the President outlined his vision of a new world order in which the U.S. would participate fully.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would I see a world order in the future with a multipolar world order.
I think a new world order is emerging, and with it the foundations of a new and progressive era of international cooperation. We have resolved that from today we will together manage the process of globalization to secure responsibility from all and fairness to all.
And one of the ways it will drive the change is through global governance and global agreements.
But in a globalized economy, we are going to have to take global responsibilities, and there is going to have to be some semblance of global governance.
Never before has a new world assembled from so many different perceptions or on so global a scale. Nor has any previous order had to combine the attributes of the historic balance of power system with global democratic opinion and the exploding technology of the contemporary period.
There also exists an extraordinary opportunity for the first time in history, a truly global society.
Well, during the conflict with Saddam Hussein, which he handled so superbly in a short-term sense, we kept talking about a new world order. And then President Bush, at the end of that war, promised he would give 4 graduation addresses, 4 commencement addresses, describing that new world order and what America's role was going to be in it. Turned out he gave one of those addresses and canceled the other and talked about something else. That's why, because they weren't ready yet.
That in fact we're all going to have to give up a little bit of our sovereignty in order to make the world work. And I strongly believe...
Now, let me say something here. Now, the brother we just seen, he said, we're going to give some of our sovereignty in order for a new world order to exist. It's a strategic chipping away. Everything that you want to consider is a part of your constitutional right. The Constitution has been burned, man. Okay, they can't take my guns. My First Amendment, they don't care nothing about your amendment. They wrote the amendments. They're talking about they can't take your guns. We saw in during Katrina, Black Wall Street, a paid contracted government agency, well, not a governmental agency, but paid. They're an independent contractor, paid by the government, independent, not even a governmental body. They were sent into Katrina, a militia group, and disarmed the people. Not police, not the military. No, Blackwater. They went into Katrina, into New Orleans, kicking doors in, slamming old ladies on the floor, taking their guns. Now you telling me, where was your amendment rights then? Where was your amendment rights then? You're putting hope and faith in the letter of that is going to perish. Those words mean nothing on the paper. The only words that mean something on the paper is this Bible. That's it. Everything else means nothing. They don't care about your rights. What you gonna do? You ready to go to war? You ain't got enough tanks, guns, military airplanes, drones. You ain't got enough of none of that to try to go to war with this system. It's going to take Christ to come after this. That's why they're getting that new world order together. They trying to get all these together so that they can band together, put their resources and their power and technology together to fight what's coming through them heavens. They're not developing and building nothing to fight, to help protect one another. They're getting all of these nations together. If all the nations getting together, who's going to be the enemy? Who's going to be the enemy with all the nations in the world together on the same side? It show not another country. They are structuring this whole United Nations to fight what comes from clouds. Because you know why? Because they have people that they have their little minions thumbing through scriptures every single day trying to prolong their rulership and figure out how to set these prophecies back. While you thumbing through the album cover of Jay-Z and Rick Ross. You thumbing through the album covers of all these different artists, thumbing through YouTube, watching their videos, while they thumbing through your doggone Bible, trying to offset prophecies that they know that's coming. That's why they gear up. And you have no clue of what's going on. Because ain't nobody telling you or teaching you nothing but how to get paid. You so caught up with the things of this world, you can't even recognize. That's why they can put it in your face in plain sight. Because they already dumbed you down. They already know that you deceived. They put all this stuff in plain sight on the television. And nobody's saying nothing. And every doggone Sunday you go to church, they talking about something. About some grace and money. That is elementary stuff of God, man. We should be already surpassed how we could get blessed from God. That is elementary. But every Sunday, you tell them about grace and blessings. And yet, occasionally, they'll throw out there, we living in the last days. But we're not going in depth or teach you or tell you what to look for. And if they do teach you and tell you, look, it is wrong. Because it's still a part of the deception, excuse me, of the system that they learned from. Come on, man. We got to wake the people up, man. This is a bunch of foolishness.
The essential actor in the new world order.
And this present window of opportunity during which a truly peaceful and interdependent world order might be built will not be here for too long. Already there are powerful forces at work.
Now look at this guy here. Now I just showed y'all these Rockefellers. Now here's some of the Illuminati. Okay, the Rockefellers, them some of the main characters in that whole council. Okay, the richest family in the entire world. And in every form of high government, in every form of system, all the way from seminary school, all the way to the banks, to the oil, to the gas, to I mean, everything. The Rockefellers got somebody in their family in one of them places. Come on, man. They got them in, they got Asian Rockefellers, they got Latin Rockefellers, they got every nation you want to name except black. Ain't no black Rockefellers. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna tell you that straight up right now. Because they not gonna let you into their family. Why Italian one? Why? Because they come from Rome. All these other ones that they mix come from Rome. You already know what's going on, man.
That threaten to destroy all of our hopes and efforts to erect an enduring structure of global cooperation.
Are you optimistic a global system can happen from what we've heard so far?
It could happen, and in fact it's in the works.
I mean, but sir, just one thing, we could go on about how, family committed all these acts against society. We just want to let you know, the New World Order has no legitimacy, and that we as a people are not afraid, and we are waking up to the rob baron, the big banks who are looting the economy. And we as the people are not afraid, and we are waking up to the robber barons and the big banks who are looting this economy with the Federal Reserve.
Well,
so now this brother in the video rolls up on this guy who is a part of the Illuminati system. And we know what's going on. We know what y'all trying to do through the Federal Reserve. Why? Because the Federal Reserve is not a governmental entity. The Federal Reserve is the only doggone branch of independent company, corporation, that can't be audited. How in the world can the Federal Reserve not be audited? That ought to tell you some salt in the game right there. Okay? The government cannot, the American government cannot audit Federal Reserve. Why? Because they made a deal. When America needs some money, the Federal Reserve. That's why every president appoints someone over the finances of America. They appoint someone who is connected or a former employee or a former boss of the Federal Reserve. Obama did it too. Why? Because they are indebted to Federal Reserve. That's the reason why you got a Social Security number. Because every time a child is born, they become an employee of the Federal Reserve. That's why when America get money from the Federal Reserve, that's why you got to pay income taxes. Because they made a deal. Because America at one point in time was about to fold because of bankruptcy. And then they made a secret agreement with the Federal Reserve. While all the congressmen and all the senators was on vacation. The Federal Reserve is no more federal than Federal Express. Okay. Exactly, Alan Greenspan. But y'all caught up in who gonna be the president. Man, the president is already selected, man. These people control now it's just to get the people to side with they already decided to pick. To get you thinking that your vote counted. This junk already rigged, man. That's why nobody can become a president unless they are part of the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. You see your boy Bernie Sanders riding independent, but he had to make a choice. Democrat or Republican, or he would not be able to go get the nomination. That ought to tell you something. If this is not a democracy. There's nothing within the Constitution or any of these other things, anything democracy to which we stand. No, they say to the republic. This is a republic, man. This is a corporation. This is a business. This is a republic, man. This is not a democracy. You have no choice in the matter. Your vote doesn't. If they want you to have something, then they decide, okay, cool, we'll let them have a little something. We'll give these folks a little something. But it ain't because you voted for it. Let's get to this, man, United Nations. Okay? Let's look at this. All right. So the scripture says, Paul says in Ephesians chapter number 6, verse 12, 13, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Principalities, against powers that David Rockefeller was talking about at work, forces, against rulers of darkness of this world, the carnal world. This is what he's talking about. Against the rulers of darkness of this world. Against spiritual wickedness, lawlessness, and grace in high places. The spiritual wickedness in high places set up structures of wickedness and taught the people through theology wickedness that they think is righteousness. Come on, man. Y'all to recognize what's going on. Now listen to what Paul said, verse number 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God. The volume of the book, not just the New Testament, the whole armor of God. Because in verse 12, he's talking about those who are lawless and wicked. In verse 13, he's talking about the righteous. The righteous, y'all got to put on the whole armor of God. You can't come partial in this fight. If you got on a breastplate with no helmet, you're gonna get your head chopped off. If you got a helmet on and a breastplate, but you ain't got no protection on your legs, you're gonna get your legs cut from under you. You got to put on the whole armor of God, man, in this fight. Why? Because the deception of the false prophets in which we are living, we are in the part of the tribulation of the false prophet. The false Christs have already come. We've already had the David Koresh, the Jim Jones. We've all had all of them. Now we're in the era where the false prophets are on the scene, and the false prophets are much more dangerous than the false Christ. But the false prophets are going to come speaking things that sound good. Speaking things, excuse me, speaking things that sound like Christ would say. And they're going to deceive many by their words. We are in the time of the false prophet. So Paul say, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand. You see that? Because in these last days that we're in the last days of 70 AD. Since the surrounding of Jerusalem. Once we fled, that was it. We're in the last days. The deception is so strong amongst the false prophet, muscle the false Christ. And so Paul says, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God. You have to be mentally prepared, spiritually prepared, and physically prepared. Don't let them doggone sit there and cause you to be physically not prepared by putting their paws and eating McDonald's, McNasty. Let me get number 12 of McNasty with a supersized fry. A supersized Coke for $1. They are lit. People in this country are lit. They working themselves to death and they eating themselves to death. And not only that, they ain't even studying. They are deceiving themselves to death. So Paul said, put on the whole armor of God. That you may be able to withstand no day. What even talking about? The time we live in and the preparing for the son of perdition who's coming on the scene. That ye may be able to withstand the evil and all. You got to do all this stuff. You got to pray. You got to eat. You got to also withstand this thing. The people gonna be dying. They dying off, man. You eating all this stuff, getting gout in your foot. Now you got to break out and run and hide. You got gout in your foot. How you gonna run? How you gonna hide with gout in your foot? But you don't want to listen though. You want to eat everything that's not good for you. Then you want to turn around and you want to overindulge in everything that's not good for you. Let's continue. See what Daniel got to say. Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. Why? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you thought you was going to be buzzed up out of here? You thought you were going to be taken up out of here? That's what you thinking? Paul said, put on the whole armor of God so you can withstand all this stuff that's coming upon this earth. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And to think to change times and laws. Your times and your laws have been changed. Your law have been changed. Ain't no more laws. Your times have been changed. 12 o'clock midnight is a new day. Your worship day have been changed. Ain't no more Sabbath. Rome did all this. But y'all ain't listening, no. Y'all not listening. But you love the teachings of Rome. Y'all love what they did. Y'all love what Constantine did for you. Constantine freed you and gave you things. He gave you the mentality that you can have God and have the world too. And you love every bit of it. Let's read. And they shall be given into his hands. Do you see that? You see that? And they shall be given into his hands. So Most High gonna allow this stuff to happen. That's why in Matthew chapter number 24, he said that, and they shall lift you up to kill you. Why? Because right there in Daniel, the prophet says in Daniel 25, he said, and they, meaning the saints of the Most High, and they shall be given into his hands. The Lord, unto times and dividing the time. Oh yeah. You're going to endure this thing, baby. It ain't no quick fix. You ain't finna just think you just, wicked. This is the most wicked generation it ever been. I mean, this generation is more wicked than Gomorrah. This generation is more wicked than any generation in the Bible. But y'all have the entitlement thinking of getting into the kingdom and not having to do nothing to get there. You want to slap God in his face, live all kind of ways, change his words and his scriptures, live lawless, laying up with it, not married, men with men, women with women, and yet y'all still think y'all finna come into his righteous kingdom? Entitlement thinking. Don't want to honor him at all. And think y'all finna just get in like that. That's why Christ told you whosoever endures until the end shall be saved. But y'all want to hear that because that don't sound good to you. That is a part of the book that's gonna be pain. That's pain to your belly. All the riches and everything you can get from God tastes good to your lips. But that part that hurts your belly of enduring and living right, that's the part y'all don't want. Y'all want to throw that up. Because you don't love him like you see him. If you love me, keep my commandments, he said. Rich young ruler asked him, how can I get into the kingdom? He gave him a commandment that was not written on stone. Since y'all always want to throw up stuff on stone. He gave the rich young ruler a commandment. He said, listen, go. That is a commandment. Go and sell everything that you have and give to the poor. He gave him a commandment to do. And he could not fulfill that commandment. That was a simple commandment. And Christ, you see the generation here. They are lovers of themselves. They want everything for themselves. It is easier for a camel to fit through an eye of a needle. Therefore, a rich man who cannot follow my command. It was not about the stuff that he had. It was about his disobedience to the commandment that was given to him. But y'all think they've trained you to think that God's commandments are written on some stone. God is bigger than some stone, man. When God speaks his command, that's a commandment. That is a law. When God speaks in the earth, he don't have to write nothing on no walls and no stones and all that stuff. Better wake up and study for yourself to show yourself approved. Because you're not going to be able to call your pastor. You're not going to be able to call Paul. You're not going to call nobody on them stands when you're standing before God on judgment. Nobody going to be able to stand for you. You better study to show yourself approved. Why? Why shouldn't we be caught up in this world and this world way of things and set our mind on high? This is the very reason why. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This is the very reason why we're to set our minds on things above and not things in this present world. This world is going to be destroyed, man. There is going to be a new heaven and a new earth. God is going to give this wicked, nasty world to the wicked. You want it? Here you go. Enjoy it because I'm going to destroy it with you. I'll create a new heaven and a new earth for my people. But y'all so caught up in worrying about stuff, praying to God for a big house. If you keep his commandments, you don't have to worry about that chasing after that stuff. That stuff going to chase after you. You spending hours fasting for a house, fasting for a job. God ain't told you to fast for no house and no job. Fasting don't have nothing to do with that mess. He told the disciples, if you want to cast out this devil, if you want to fight spiritually, you need to fast. Not if you want to have this big old fishing boat, this yacht. Not fasting for that mess. The Lord said, if you keep my commandments, you shall be blessed above anything on the face of this planet. You want something, you want to get blessed, be obedient to what he said. Fasting for a husband, fasting for a wife. God ain't told you that. That ain't even Bible. It's a bunch of mess. Now let's deal with these United Nations. United Nations ain't nothing new. Okay? They've already tried to do this stuff. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything you want to know is in these scriptures. United Nations. Studying on United Nations. Watch this. Here go the United Nations right here. Psalms chapter number 83. Now listen to this. Here go your United Nations right here. These United Nations, Illuminati, these people ain't nobody. They ain't nothing. They got temporary rulership because the Most High allowed them to have it. He's going to use the enemy the same way he used them in the Bible. He will raise up a nation to check his children. And when that nation, when he's done that nation, he'll raise up another nation to wipe them out. The Lord is the master strategist. He's sitting at the table playing chess with himself, controlling both sides of the table, the evil and the good side. So the United States ain't nothing new. This ain't a new concept. They've been trying to, all this stuff started with Edom. Esau started this mess. Psalm chapter 83, verse number 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. All nations get together. They're your enemies. They ain't in Christ. They're your enemy. But you don't have to worry about fighting them because Christ gonna fight them for you. For thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee, they that hate the Most High God, have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. They tried to do it to Israel then, and they trying to do it to Israel now. Everybody else that's accepting the Most High God and Christ, you become a part of the fight. This is not your fight. You just part of it. Okay? Let's get that understood. This is about Esau and Jacob. You just a part of the fight. Hey, we welcome you to be a part of it. But don't get it twisted. This is once you get that understanding, then you'll understand what Revelation is about. The book of Revelation. You'll understand what that's about. Yes, it's going to be people from other nations coming in. Yes. But this fight started a long time ago. Now, what's Esau doing? Watch this. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. See that? This was back in Psalms. Now watch this. For they have consulted together with one consent. They done came together as one, as a United Nations. They are confederate against thee. Do you see that? They have come together as a nation. On one go, they go United Nations. All these nations get. Now let's see who all was there. Let's see who's all a part of the first United Nations. That's still a part of the United Nations now. Watch this. Verse number 6. The tabernacles of Edom, the Romans. They popped off. Because Esau still mad. He's still mad because of something he did. Okay? So the tabernacle of Edom, the Edomites, and the Ishmaelites, the Arabs. Oh yeah, you didn't know? You didn't know that Edom and the Arabs mixed? Edom and the Arabs mixed back in Genesis? That was the first people that Esau went and mixed with. When he started mixing with everybody. He was shaped to Ishmael and got his daughter. And then later on during the 6th century, you had the Romans who funded the Arab religion of Islam and was trying to convert the Khazars. I did on here, showing y'all how that the Khazars converted in the 6th century under Judah, under the teachings of Israel for a political move, and now they possessing everything. There's a political move they did. Now watch this. Let's continue. I'm not going to stay on that long. Watch this. Verse number 7. Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitations of Tyre, the ancient Africans, all of them. Everybody got together. Assur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as the Sisera, as to Jabin, at brook of Kishon, which perisheth at Endor. They become as dung for the earth, make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, all their princes as Zabah and Zalmunna, who said, let us take ourselves the houses of God in possession. You see that? All these folks got together and say, let's take God's people and all his riches. Let's take them and possess in possession. Now watch this. Now, this is something I didn't have, excuse me, but I'm going to go to it because of that particular verse right here. Verse number 12 of Psalms 83. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Show y'all something. Watch this. Now, we just seen all these United Nations get together, right? And they all came together and said one thing. Verse number 12. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Now, this is what all these United Nations got together and said. All these nations, Edom, all of them, the ancient Africans, all of them got together and said, let us take ourselves the houses of God in possession, his people and his riches. Now, watch this. Now let's jump over here to the prophet, Joel chapter 3. Watch this. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captive of Judah and Jerusalem. You see that? So the United Nations got together, Edom, and said, let us come together all as a United Nations in confederate and take the houses of God, his riches and his people, and possess them, enslave them. Now you jump to Joel chapter 3 using precept upon precept. And God said through the prophet, he says, in those days and that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah, the southern kingdom of Israel, and Jerusalem, the northern kingdom of Israel, because they split in the book of Kings because of King Solomon and his disobedience. Verse number 2, I will also gather all nations that was a part of that confederacy, that was a part of that United Nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. Let's take that, what they said right here in Psalms chapter 83. What did they say? They said right here, verse number 12. Let us take ourselves the houses of God in possession. So God said, I'm going to gather all those nations that came together, and I'm going to bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And what y'all know, Armageddon, we're going to deal with it down there in Armageddon. And we'll plead with them there for my people who they took in possession into captivity, and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations and have parted my land. So God say, Not only did they take my people and scatter them throughout the four corners of the earth because they possessed them and sold them, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be ticked off. Why am I ticked off? Because not only did they scatter my people, but they parted my land. They took my land and started dividing it up, naming it Palestine. Naming it all these other